Hey everybody, it's Sunday, June 14th, 2020, and welcome back to the workshop. Today I'm going to do a flea market finds episode, and this is going to be featuring Machinist tools picks from 3 different places. They're all small ones, so we'll just put them all together in this one pick. With the COVID thing going on right now, no flea markets to go to, haven't really seen any estate sales or anything like that. It's the way it is, for now anyways. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Item number 1 popped up on Craigslist, and we've got a nice little stare at Machinist level. The photograph that the seller had placed on the Craigslist page, he didn't take good photographs of it. You know, big deal with levels is what does the bottom look like? Okay, now this one is clearly, this was exactly probably how it was found. It's got some rust on it. Good news is it doesn't look like there are any big gouges in it, so it should clean up. There is some rust around the nut area here, and the vial's not broken. Both vials are intact. That's good news. There's also, this is an early one. You can tell because it has this almost like this Japanning enamel, black enamel on it, and it's missing right there. The later ones have a black, almost like a crinkle finish. It's almost like a texture like you see on a Kennedy toolbox. And this does not have this. This has the older Japanning on it. This would be a good candidate for restoration for somebody. I believe he was asking $30 for this. And after a little bit of haggling, I was able to finally get him to take $25 for it. I explained to him that I expected the condition to be better than it was, and that the photographs weren't that great. Initially he was firm on his price, and I had asked him what else he might have, and he had broken out, he had found these 2 micrometers that he was planning on putting in a yard sale that he was going to have. He had no other Machinist tools for sale. So initially we tried to do a package deal on this. Then finally, I said, well, I'll give you the 25 for this. And then in the end, I ended up giving 15 for these 2 because he was really attached to, he thought that there was really good value here on this one. It's a Brown and Sharp. It is a 10th micrometer. It's a model 13. It does have carbide faces that are decent. It's got a little bit of rust here, but the lock does not work at all. So it's going to need a little bit of attention. And then this one is a Brown and Sharp, early Brown and Sharp disc micrometer, and you can hear it's begging for attention, practically calling out. So this is going to need some work. So I gave 5. The way I figured is I gave 5 for this, 10 for this, and 25 for this. Nothing killer here. I mean, I'm probably going to end up making, like $5 a piece on these mics, and hopefully maybe squeeze 10 or 15 out of this. We shall see. And just another look at the bottom after a little bit of cleanup. And all I did to clean this was I used a scouring pad, the plastic scouring pad, like a Scotch-Brite type of pad. And I spray it with some 7-Eleven lubricant penetrant, which is very similar to PB Blaster, judging from the smell of it. And I just basically, I wet the surface and then I rub on the pad and then wipe clean. That looks pretty good. And if somebody wants to take it further, and do a full restoration on it, they're going to have a nice little level. These trade for around $50 on eBay without the box, but probably condition a little bit better than this one as far as the Japanning on the top goes. Gave this a quick little cleaning too, just so we can see the frame a little bit, see better. That is, clearly it's a Brown and Sharp. On this side it didn't clean up as well. It's going to take a little bit more work on this side, but you can just barely make out the old Brown and Sharp logo, which is a little Machinist square. But this is going to be something, probably offer this for $10 to somebody who wants to put a little bit of time into it and end up with a nice little disc micrometer. Next item was a Craigslist item. I had been watching this stare at indicator on Craigslist, and a gentleman had put it up and was asking $30 for it, and it looked pretty clean, but I couldn't really tell. And of course these are also known for being stuck with a problem where they stick after laying around for a while. And he also had a picture showing that it had some extra little buttons in that. So I was like, well, that's actually not that bad of a deal at 30 bucks. And considering no one was buying it because it was up for, you know, over a week, I reached out to the gentleman. And the reason why I hadn't run right out and gotten it was because it was, you know, about a 40-minute drive. But I was going to be kind of in that you know, area of the state, so I decided to make arrangements to go out and meet with him. And I also, as I often do, I asked whether or not he had any other machinist tools available, and he said, oh, he might have a few other things. He'd break them out and I could take a look at them while I was there. So what I was pleased to find out when I got there was that it is actually in very good shape. It does not hang. It repeats to 0 and does not hang at all, so there's nothing wrong with this indicator. It's got the original box, which is nice. This is a model 196B1. And it's a 196 indicator. The B1 usually just means, honestly, the B1 might be the part number for the box for a 196, which is kind of weird, but they do that. And let's see if I can get this open. But the other nice thing is, you'll notice that there's no contact button on the back of this yet, because he had 4 different ones available here. That might even be a complete set. I don't even remember, honestly, how many this came with originally. Actually, those two look like they're the same size, so probably not. I'll have to look and see. I might have one of these that I kept for myself, and I might not have all of those button sizes. I don't know. Check it out. So anyways, I was fully thinking, since it was up for a while, he'd probably take 25 for this. So I was already thinking that before I headed out and looked at the thing. And then I got out there and I looked at what else he had, and he had found the following items. First thing I noticed and I picked up was this dial caliper. This is a 8-inch, and first thing he said to me, he says, yeah, he says, that's, you know, really kind of rough. So he said, you can have that. So this was already a freebie before we even got talking. And the first thing I noticed on it was, look, right there, that's a Helios. And I've mentioned this name before. I think Mr. Pete has actually mentioned this also, that Helios is actually a pretty nice quality product made in Germany. My first dial caliper I ever owned, which I sold a while back, was a 6-inch Helios dial caliper, and it was actually very nice. And this one also, you know, because it's dirty and needs to be cleaned up, that's, you know, part of the problem with it, but it's actually not bad. It's got a pretty nice length here on these jaws. It's got the inside and the outside jaws. You know, this could clean up and be a very nice caliper for somebody. Unfortunately, no pouch or case, but once again, somewhere around here I have a Helios box that I think I got a while back, and let me see if I could find that sucker. Maybe we'll finally get lucky. Oh, well, I found my Helios case. Unfortunately, don't look the right size case for this caliper. So looks like this is either for a 10 or a 12-inch caliper. I mean, I could just sell this with this case, but since this doesn't engage here, it's not really gonna be a good fit, so oh well. And he had this Starrett number 473 screw pitch gauge with the box. It's actually in great shape, really nice condition, and it is a 473 as the box implies. He had just a couple of random scales here. Let's see, this satin finish one is a, oh, that's actually a Mitutoyo. Unfortunately, something got on it. I don't know what that stuff is. And a General number 308, and a long, let's see, this is made in the USA. Looks like it's metric on the back. Looks like millimeters on the back. I don't know who the heck makes this. It just says made in the USA tempered. Huh. Oh, MG General Hardware, New York. A Machinery's Handbook, 17th edition. Actually looks like it's in pretty good shape. And then this box of random stuff that actually has a Starrett 93B tap handle in great shape, except for that it is missing the rod. Huh. A bunch of miscellaneous taps. This got some rust on it, but it's a Starrett 93A. This one's a lot more used. And this is a Craftsman number 4066. Also in pretty good shape. It's too bad about the handle missing on this Starrett though, because that's actually a pretty nice one. And that was it. So I said, I looked at everything. I said, well, I'd be interested in it all. I said, you know, with the indicator. And I said, what do you want for the whole lot? And he says, how about 40 bucks? I said, would you do 35? And he said, yeah. So I got this all for 35, which is a pretty good deal because I was already thinking this was worth, you know, he was asking 30. I figured I was going to get this for 20 or 25, which means I got the rest of this haul right here for like 15 or 20 bucks. So that was a good score, worth the drive. And that brings us to the last stop I made that day, and it was the used tool store. And the past couple weeks, the used tool store, past 3 or 4 weeks actually, I haven't really seen any new Machinist items come in, and not a heck of a lot else of other things of interest, quite frankly. So I think there's a slowdown there in the picking situation also, as far as his inventory not turning over as quickly. Also, the crowds are way down. So I ended up just going in and seeing if there was anything, and I ended up finding this Union Tool Company of Orange, Massachusetts tap handle for $3. And this one is this is a GT&D. You can see that distinctive logo for Greenfield Tap and Die. Looks like a number 329, also in decent shape. And this was a whole $1 for this one. This unusual Starrett indicator. This is I looked this up. This is actually a Starrett number 64. This is a completely mechanical indicator. So the idea is you would clamp this on to, it's interesting, it's almost like almost looks like it was made to clamp onto I don't know what that was made to clamp onto. Height gauge maybe? Well, anyways, based on what I found online, this is apparently a number 64. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. Number 64. Alright, Starrett. And looks like there's maybe 2 contact points on this. Here. Or here, depending on the application. So it's sort of like the little Verdict Juniors or Verdict indicators that I've come across in the past, but it's like a larger version of it. So this was $10, and I think I already looked these up, and they don't trade for terribly a lot. I think they're on average around 20 bucks. Well, there it is in my Starrett catalog number 26. Copyrighted 1938. There it is, being used in a couple different applications there for centering up items and truing things in chucks and on a faceplate work down here. And they're showing it here, either use it on a post or use it on a surface gauge. So anyways, let's see. So back then the indicator only, without the tool post or anything, was a whopping $3 back in 1938. This was in the $2 bin, and what it is it's a brand new Jacobs taper arbor. So this is looks like Morse taper to Jacobs. Yeah, so that's a brand new number 1 Morse taper to a number 6 Jacobs taper. Part number A0106, but no manufacturer. Well, I was able to find a listing for those adapters on a website called Newman Tools. They're right there with that part number, but it doesn't say who the manufacturer is, so I don't know if that means that that's an original Jacobs or if that's just some other manufacturer. And then I found somebody on eBay selling this and saying, that it's a US made, but I don't know how they're making that as, drawing that conclusion, considering that they also aren't saying who makes it. They're just saying it's that part number. Big whoop. These next 2 items, normally when he sets a price on something, pretty much going to be firm, especially in the beginning, but this was something that he had in the case for a while now, and I took a look at it, and it's a metric indicator, manufacturer unknown, probably an import, but it's in excellent shape, and he had 15 bucks on it, and I asked him if he'd do 10, I mean, he said, yeah. So I got this for 10. It does have a number on it. It says DDR1TGL 7682. Ah, so if I plug in that those numbers there, I get quite a few. I get a few hits, but they're all on websites in other countries of different languages. But here's the biggest telltale sign right here. What this is a indicator that matches some of those numbers. The DDR, for instance, TGL numbers, and I noticed that there was a reference to KS, and that's when I noticed something I didn't notice at first, which is there's a tiny triangle right there above my thumb that has the letters KS in it. So that's the logo. Here's one for sale on a foreign website. Notice the logo, KS, and then it's AG 29 164 76 V 11 28 blah 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 blah. It says printed in DDR, so I'm thinking DDR is a place. DD Republic, something Dominican Republic. No, I don't know. And then the language up here looks very German or oh, hold on, Seoul. SUHL, comma DEN. Denmark? Denmark, maybe. I love it. Telephone is spelled TELEFON. Well, I'm going to give up. All I need to know is that it's a German-made indicator. Got some age to it. It's 0.01 millimeter resolution. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. In the box here, we've got a couple of really long rods, a couple different lengths for reaching down into a hole. It looks like isn't well. I'm sure that doesn't belong in there. All right, so we got 4 of these rods. All right, I'm also thinking none of this belongs in here. What the hell's this? Oh, I take that back. No, that doesn't really fit that. I don't think that's. I don't know what that is. Nor this. The master link for a chain. I think I kept a Messner metric indicator, which is also I think German, for myself. I wanted to have one drop indicator that was metric. So I don't know. We'll see. If I can't get any interest in this one, maybe I'll try and sell the Messner and keep this one for myself. This tape goes right over the bottom part here, which I think has the address, but it does say East Germany right here. So this is a Cold War era indicator. Indicate, I-N-D-I-K-A-T, Klocka, K-L-O-C-K-A, right? I think they call them clocks. I think they call indicators clocks in England, so apparently maybe Klock with a K is a way that they did it in Germany. I don't know. All right, so that's an interesting piece, I think. Yeah. And then he had this starred inside micrometer. This also had been there for a while, and it's interesting. He, you know, by his own admission, he's not a machinist. He doesn't know. He labeled this. A couple things wrong there. First, he called it an inside vernier. Or I think that's what he meant to call it. And second, he misspelled vernier. It's Werner. It's what he's got. V-E-R-N-E-R. Inside Werner. Werner, speaking of German guys. Hey Werner, what are you up to? So he had 40 on this, and I got him to take 35. Not a lot of wiggle room here. This is Starrett number 124. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rods, so it's a 0 to 6 inch. Nice little set. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this tool find video as much as I did. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Take care.